Hello cyclists, welcome. I'm really excited today because one of the most beautiful and state-of-the-art cargo bikes at the moment, it's the Explorer from Lovens. First of all, before I get many comments, it's indeed Lovens and not Lovens. So that's very important for me because I checked with them. But of course, the word love is integrated into the brand, not only in the name, but if you have a closer look at all the details, the beautiful design and the smart and non-smart features, definitely love, dedication and passion ticks all the boxes. But first of all, I want to give you a brief introduction to the brand and the manufacturer. So Lovens is produced by a manufacturer called Optima Cycles, and they are located very close to Amsterdam. And for many, many years, they produce cargo bikes. For example, just recently they stopped producing urban aero bikes, so they have a lot of knowledge for many, many years, as I said, and you feel and see that in the Lovens Explorer. Also, two other brands that Optima Cycles produce are called Dutch ID, regular, very cool Dutch bikes, and Dolly, it's another cargo bike. I was able to test the Explorer S75 for the last couple of weeks, and it really changed again our daily life as a family. The S75, the S stands for smart because it has the Bosch smart system, and the 75 stands for 75 Newton meters. Here located the mid-motor with 75 Newton meters of torque. For me it was absolutely enough. And the Explorer, you can really explore like everything if you do live in the city, but this bike is definitely also really well equipped if you do longer tours or if you have to commute and maybe have some gravel or have to commute through, I don't know, rougher terrain, because it was super comfortable for the whole family to ride this bicycle. Also because there is a suspension fork in the front, the RST Porter, and you can adjust like how soft or how hard the suspension should be. I was like in the mood to ride very comfortable, so I really enjoyed the suspension, especially in combination with the Schwalbe big band tires. They are 55 millimeters broad, so they work as an extra suspension. But for me, it was absolutely okay because the saddle and the tires in the rear were doing a really good job. I also asked my son if he felt comfortable when I was cycling over really rough cobblestone, and he said it was okay. And when I was loaded pretty heavily, I didn't hear so much noise and rattling coming from the box. The box is made from EPP. It's very stiff and very durable, and it's shock absorbing. So your children even won't feel so much rattle and so much bumps. Also really important because I also cycle like when it's really cold in the winter, -5, -8 degrees, no worries. And it's also working like a blanket because it keeps the cold outside as well as the wind. Of course, also really important is that the frame is made of aluminium and protects your children. So if there should be an accident, then this will definitely keep your children safe. Also, two really nice features, like this works like a grip, so your children can put their feet here underneath and then just very independently just hop into the bicycle. And the box comes with 3-point fit lock seat belts. They work really well, so even smaller children, like when they're in the age to see how far they can go, to make you really annoyed, they will not be able to open up the seat belts. And there's an extra little teeny tiny detail, so the seat belts will be very tight and cannot fall off their shoulders. I really like the bench. This is actually a standard, so the Explorer always comes with a bench where there's enough space for 2 children. It's very It's located pretty high, so they will sit like on a regular chair. And optional, you can order a second bench in the front and then definitely enough for another child. But if you want more space to transport your children, there's an option that you can, of course not only for children, but that there's a rear carrier with up to I think 25 kg. So you can put on another child seat with mixed system, or of course you can, if you need more storage, just install some panniers. But back to the box. So as you can see, it looks pretty huge, but it is a bit more narrow in the inside, and therefore the storage space is limited. So I tried it with like different settings. When I was, usually my day starts that our son leaves our home and I go to the gym. So I have my really big gym bag, and then of course all the stuff I need to go to work or to go on a production. And that was definitely absolutely more than enough space. But when I did pick up my son, and he's 12 years old, 160 centimeters tall, it became a bit more cramped. So he had like also his big backpack, his stuff he needs for sports, and then my additional 2 big bags. It was, I would say, more cozy. But to be honest, it was still working. But if you compare it, for example, to an Aero offers more storage space. But I would just say, give it a go. Do a test ride and see how much you can store. Also, I would say if you have children up to the age of 10, maybe 11, it's absolutely okay to transport them in the bike. If they get older, then the tent that I would always recommend to buy it, or the canopy, is too short. But eventually your children reach an age where they should cycle on their own. Now let's take this beauty here for a test ride and see how the rest of this bike works. If you're looking for a new bike, in my opinion, one of the most important things that you have to keep in mind is that you spend a lot of time on the saddle and on your bike. So you really have to feel comfortable. And then you have to ask yourself, do you prefer an upright sitting position or rather a sportive sitting position? And in my experience, most cargo bikes are family bikes. So the parents use it, and every now and then I even see grandparents use cargo bikes. So you have to adjust the sitting position quickly and easily. And the Lovens Explorer offers a very upright sitting position. And in my opinion, if you do live in the city and commute a lot, it is my favorite sitting position because you have a better overview, you see what is happening around you. Because I mean, here, actually at the moment not so much is happening, but that is of course an exception. And even health-wise, I would say it's better to sit more upright to have all the weight on your behind. But if you want to sit a bit more forward and a bit more sportive, it's super easy because the Lovens offers a very easy adjustable stem. And there is a quick release to adjust the height of the saddle. But you cannot take out the saddle because there's a little mechanism that you can adjust the height, but you can't take out the seat post and the saddle. And also one of the most favorite accessories that I really love on the handlebars are ergo grips, and these here offer a lot of space for my wrists and they're very sticky. And how does it feel to ride this bicycle? So one of the things that I would highly recommend if you go on a test ride, how does the bike feel unloaded, but also if you carry around a lot of load like your children or heavy groceries. And the thing is, of course, every bike feels different then, but it has to feel good, because every now and then cargo bikes without any load feel pretty wobbly or not so safe, but not in this case. So at the moment I'm just carrying around my production equipment, which is, I would say, like 10-15 kg, but so not so heavy loaded. But the Lovens, due to the frame geometry and where all the weight is, it feels very safe. And I really like the very well-balanced riding experience. Also, when there is cargo. So also when I'm carrying our son, who's almost 13, and I'd say he almost weighs as much as I do because he's pretty tall, it feels really nice. So, and this is the very important thing, don't be afraid to cycle a cargo bike, even if it's heavy loaded, because especially like high quality cargo bikes like the Lovens, they keep that in mind, that maybe a young woman and not like someone who goes to the gym regularly has to be absolutely safe and secure to handle a cargo bike that is heavily loaded, because you can load up to 100 kg in the front. And the thing is, if you depark, so if your bike is parked and it's loaded and you take it off the bike stand, super easy with the Lovens. So you can easily handle even when it's heavy loaded. What also makes the riding experience super comfortable is the cable steering. So there are cables underneath the box, and that makes the whole experience super responsive, and the bike has a very small turning radius. If you ever did cycle a long jump, you know that it can be pretty tough and difficult to turn the bike. So Lovens bikes stand for very agile ride, and due to the cable steering it also needs like almost no service. Also very important for the riding experience, of course, is the motor and the gearing system. And Lovens did choose one of the most traditional motor manufacturers, the German brand Bosch. And in this case it's the Performance line with 75 Newton meters of torque. But if you want less, then you can choose Lovens with less. And of course you can choose the Lovens S75, the Explorer S75, and that offers you 85 Newton meters of torque, so a much stronger motor. So if you do live in hilly regions or you have to cycle like really long distances, then maybe the 85 Newton meters with the cargo line from Bosch is your choice. But due to the fact that the motor is located in the middle, it is a very natural riding experience, and especially in combination with the torque sensor that measures how hard you push the pedal. It feels almost like riding a regular bicycle, but of course with the support of a motor. If you're not familiar with Bosch, Bosch offers different modes of pedal assistance, and in my opinion, I would always go for the auto mode, because then the system decides when to offer what mode of pedal assistance, and therefore the battery lasts super long, and to be honest, you don't have to worry about anything, because Bosch is doing a really good job with some sort of algorithm and software that they really know when you need more support. And now comes the third, and in my opinion the coolest choice, that my Explorer has the Enviolo automatic gearing system. Automatic means yes, you don't have to worry about the shifting, because the system shifts for you and you can individualize the cadence. So within the app from Bosch or from Enviolo, there are two options, you can choose your cadence. So it took me like, I would say, one test ride of 5 minutes to find the right cadence, and then it was just amazing. Really, I love it. It's so cool, because with the Bosch Auto Mode and the Enviolo Automatic, you don't have to worry about anything, because the bike does everything for you, and you can just concentrate on the street, on the traffic around you, and enjoy your ride. And one advantage that for me is very important, that even after 13 years of a heavy cargo bike cyclist, every now and then I approach a stoplight, it's red, I have to stop, and I forget to switch the gears and go to a lower gear. Because what happens when you're heavily loaded and you're in like the heaviest gear, you really have to push the pedal to get the bike with the load going. And that won't happen with an automated gearing system. So as you can hear, I'm absolutely convinced. I really love it. I'm cycling the Enviolo Automatic for a couple of years, and just love it. It's superb. It's the perfect evolution for me of a cargo bike, because you don't have to worry about a thing. And now for me, the last topic that gives this superb gearing system the last little tick, it's the Gates carbon belt drive, the CDX. And a belt drive has a lot of advantages compared to a regular chain. One is it lasts 3 times longer than regular chain, so up to 30,000 kilometers. And it doesn't lengthen. It needs no oil or grease, and you don't have to take care of it at all. Only if it's like really, really dirty, then you just use a damp cloth and take off the dirt. But otherwise, it's silent. It's perfect, especially in the combination with the Bosch motor and the Enviolo gearing system. Yeah, love it. Really, it's fantastic. If you ever have the chance, try it. Give it a try. It's fantastic. The motor has, of course, 250 watts, and therefore you get support of up to 25 kilometers an hour. That is pretty fast, to be honest, and of course you can go faster, but then you have to use your muscle strength. If you do cycle an e-bike, especially a cargo bike, then you need brakes that work really well. And my Lovens Explorer has Tektro hydraulic disc brakes that work fantastic, but Lovens offers the option for hydraulic disc brakes from Magura, and they have an ABS, so they are not blocking even when it's because they sense when it's slippery, and then you won't slip because with the due to the ABS. And if I had the choice, I would definitely go for the Magura hydraulic disc brakes, even more safe. Of course, the bike comes with everything you need to cycle in Europe, especially in Germany. So there's a front light that is super bright with 80 lux. If you do maybe live in surroundings where it's like pitch black and super dark, you should maybe think if you need another light, because it was pretty narrow. The rear light I really love. It's from Spanninger, a Dutch manufacturer, and it's integrated in the mudguard. Also, of course, there are reflective stripes in the wheels that also increases your visibility, and I would always choose this beautiful option here, the LED lights that are integrated in the bucket. I mean, look at this beautiful design. So for me, really, Lovens with the Explorer did a pretty good job. So you really see and feel so much dedication and passion for technical thing, but also for design. So something that I really experienced when I was working with Lovens is that the people behind the brand, whether it's from the marketing or from the technical departments, they are so passionate about the brand and their product. And yeah, that's something that I really enjoy, because in my opinion, it's super important that you have people who produce the brand, who try to evolve the brand, are really passionate about their product. And they are, and they can, because every little detail, it's really from a really good high quality and it's thought through. So I really enjoyed the last couple of weeks riding this bike. So Lovens has an own production facility close to Amsterdam, where a lot of parts are produced, but especially the bikes are assembled there. But they do have an own factory in Taiwan, like Van Moof, for example, and the frame is produced there. So they really want to know if the quality that they expect from their product is fulfilled. So therefore, everything that is not coming from external manufacturers, they produce in their own factory and then assemble it in the Netherlands. For example, of course, like the disc brakes, the Tektro or Riga that worked really well, they of course are produced by Tektro in Asia. But everything else comes from Lovens or from Optima Cycles. This bike also comes equipped with mud guards made from aluminium, and there was no rattle, no noise even when I was cycling the worst cobblestone, and they're very durable and they are pretty long. So every now and then you see manufacturers that offer mud guards that are just too short, and then you get dirty or the bike gets really dirty. There are two different frame colors. This one here is like a silver gray. It has an almost matte finish, but there's a teeny tiny shine. And the second option is like a very beautiful green and so cool. You can choose like the interior, so what color the bench, the saddle and the grips are made from. I do have the black, very elegant and chic setup, but you can also have like a brown finish. And then especially in my opinion, if you choose a green frame color and then the brown setup, reminds me a lot of an old British racing car. Am I even allowed to say that as a bike influencer? Yes, I think I am, concerning if I'm just talking about design. Also a detail that I really like and appreciate, as you probably know, most of the time I'm wearing like super long dresses and palazzo trousers. They won't get stuck in the belt drive because it's protected. So it's the belt guard here, and also the frame design protects like long trousers to get caught in the belt, which is pretty cool in my opinion, because I had some trousers that suffered a lot. Also important for me that you do have this little lock here that we call it every now and then the bakery lock, because if you just want to hop in the bakery and get something for your child, you can lock it for a couple of minutes. But you also have the option to integrate a longer chain, so you can really attach your bike to something so it can't be carried away. I mean, this bike is really heavy with more than 50 kg, but anyway, I would always attach a bicycle and use a second lock. If you have an extra lock, then, and that is pretty cool, you can use like the grip to fiddle around your lock and attach it, for example, to a light. So my perfect setup would be the S75 with the Performance line motor. Definitely a canopy, because I mean, I have a history of 13 years of cycling a cargo bike almost every day, and even if it's like summer, most of the days one cloud decides to appear and rain. So this setup I hardly ever cycle. Most of the time I always have a canopy on. So I would definitely recommend check out the website. There are really a lot of cool accessories, the canopy, but there are also other options how to protect the box and your children. You have a rear carrier, the lock. So I definitely would say stop by, also dive a bit deeper into the brand and check out what options Lovens offers. This bicycle of course comes with a price, but if you do want a reliable bicycle that offers you a very reliable everyday life, then the Explorer is really cool option. And the bike, the S75, starts with approximately 5,999 euros, but with the canopy, with the Enviolo automatic and other accessories you may need, like the ABS, then of course the bike is more expensive. But I don't want to tell you all the prices, just check it out. For me, the Explorer was definitely a really cool addition to our family life, because it was so easy to adjust the sitting position. I really enjoyed like the Enviolo automatic. The motor was strong enough even for steeper parts that I cycled and did test. The whole steering experience was pretty incredible, really. It felt almost like cycling a regular bike. And if you have a family, if you do a lot of groceries, go to work, so commute a lot and don't want to use the car, then the Explorer from Lovens is definitely a very cool option for you. And if you liked our video, give us a thumbs up. Also leave a comment. What do you think about the Explorer and about Lovens, the brand? Pretty cool, isn't it? And please subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of our really nice reviews.